Hello and welcome to Howard's Horse Handicapping. It is Monday, February 8th. Hope everyone's having a great day and had a very successful weekend. My name is Howard Kravitz. Welcome again to my channel. On today's video, we're going to be talking about a bunch of things, including 3-year-old Kentucky Derby prep races and a review of the PickSix and the graded stakes that happened over the weekend at Santa Anita. I had a mixed bag of success over the weekend. Hopefully you had a great weekend financially, and welcome to the show. Many things we need you to do. First of all, please make sure you subscribe down below. Also, there's a scroll at the bottom. Please make sure you take a look at that. Every Monday and Thursday, I'll be producing content. Mondays will be a review of last weekend's picks, and Thursday will be a video and possibly a live stream on next weekend's big races. This Thursday, we are going to have a preview of Louisiana Derby Day Preview Day. It's a huge day of stakes at the fairgrounds in New Orleans. This is going to be Thursday night, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. I will be live. Please join me. I'd like to have you participate in the chat that we're going to have, and I have a guest, a good friend of mine who's an excellent handicapper. His name is Jerry Richmond. He'll be with me also to go through those races. Not only do we need you to subscribe, but please follow me on Twitter. My Twitter is getting very active right now. I've been sending out more tweets. On there, you're going to find updates on the tickets I put in, updates about the show. My Twitter handle is at @HKravitz, Krav as in victory, E-T as in Tom, S as in Sam, at @HKravitz. Please follow me on Twitter. I'm getting a lot more activity on there, people tweeting me. I'm tweeting out things. We'd love to have you join me on Twitter as well. So we're going to start today's show, and the show will be shorter on Mondays than it will be on Thursdays. We're going to start with some 3-year-old Kentucky Derby prep races. And there were 2 of them this weekend, both on Saturday. One was at Tampa Bay. It was a Sam F. Davis, and one of them was at Aqueduct, the Withers Stakes. Both of them I was fortunate to have the winner in, so that helped me in my pick fives that occurred at those tracks. So we're going to take a look at those right now. The Sam F. Davis, I'm just going to go ahead and let it roll. We're going to go ahead and put on the sound also. This is Richard Grunder with the call of the Sam F. Davis.
And they're off and running in the 41st edition of the Sam Davis. Both the boys away sharply and right to their lead. Over Rags comes away in good order second. Up on the outside, Candyman Rocket is there third. Smiley Sabuka tucked in along the rail fourth. And the last horse away is Maline. They swing around the clubhouse turn, and Book the Boy now strikes to the lead by a length. Along the rail, that's Smiley Sabuka, now moving up second. Up on the outside, Candyman Rocket and 2-path. Travels along now third. Then it's 2.5 lengths farther back to the Pasco winner. Nova Rags in a good spot now, fourth, 3/4 of a length. Ricochet to the outside now fifth. Hidden Stash tucked in toward the rail. Now racing along sixth. Right there between horses, Lucky Law is now traveling along seventh. From between horses, Runway Magic is eighth. Far outside, Long Shot, Last Investment is ninth. And then it's a big break of about 8 lengths back. Known Agenda is about 15 lengths off the leaders. And the trailer is Joe Man. Joe, as they lead the half-mile marker, Book the Boy and Gallardo. They're calling the shots up front. And they boot clear to lead the race by 2.5. Candyman Rocket is now being knuckled on second. Nova Rags is set down for the drive toward the rail now third. Up on the outside, Ricochet is fourth. Hidden Stash, he's now coming with a run down along the inner rail fifth. But meanwhile up front, Candyman Rocket from the outside strikes to the lead. But here's Nova Rags with a ground saving trip, moving through now to challenge second. Both the Boy is all in third. Inside the final furlong, it's Candyman Rocket and Junior Alvarado. They made first run and they have the lead. Nova Rags will surge again late and run at the leader and Hidden Stash down the center of the racetrack. Candyman Rocket hangs on by a diminishing 3/4 of a length. Nova Rags is there.
So as you can see, it was Candyman Rocket winning the race for Bill Mott. Bill Mott finishes 1-2. Very impressive in that race. Also with Nova Rags, who really Got a very good trip on the inside, angled out in the stretch. Had no real excuse. Candyman Rocket went off at sort of a lower price than I thought, 3-1. I'll be honest, I liked Nova Rags a little more because of the price, and he had a race over the track. But Candyman Rocket backed up his win at Gulfstream in a very nice main race to win this, and he's on his way, on his road to the Kentucky Derby. He's obviously going to be a player going forward. Boca Boy finished fourth in that race. The horse I think is a little bit interesting going forward was the one hidden stash for Vicky Oliver. Vicky Oliver is not great off of layoffs with her stats, but I thought that horse ran a very nice race. He was a little bit goofy in the stretch. I'd look out for a hidden stash also. Known Agenda was the disappointing favorite. I have absolutely no idea why this horse was such a big favorite, to be very honest with you. I definitely used him, but I didn't think he really laid over the field. I think that was sort of a name-only situation. He also was in a race with Greatest Honor earlier this year, and Greatest Honor just won at Gulfstream, so I think people recognize that name in the PPs, and that helped Known Agenda. But he was bet down quite a bit and really wasn't that much of a factor, but I think he also is a nice horse and will be a factor going forward. The other race that we're going to take a look at is the Withers. The Withers was at Aqueduct, and it was Risk Taking for Chad Brown and Clarovich Stables were the favorite. Let's take a look at that race right now. That was at Aqueduct in the Withers Stakes.
And they're off. It's Mr. Dota and Capo Kane going out for the early lead. Capo Kane closest to the rail. Mr. Dota's on the outside in second. Donegal Bay is next in third. And then it is Shack Queen King who is racing in fourth. On the extreme outside is Eagle Orb next in fifth. Risk Taking is sixth at this point. And down on the inside is a Royal Number. Alongside is Civil War. And the trailer is Overtook in ninth. The 3-year-olds have reached the backstretch after a quarter and 24 seconds. And it is Capo Kane in front, 3/4 of a length. Eagle Orb is now making a move on the extreme outside. Mr. Doder is there in third. In between horses, Donegal Bay runs in fourth. Shack Queen King at the rail in fifth, 3.5 lengths off the front. Then it is Risk Taking in sixth, followed by Civil War. At the back are Overtook and Royal Number. The half mile at 48 3. And it is Capo Kane with the lead here by a little more than a length. Eagle Orb now moves up on the outside to get closer in second. Donegal Bay is next in third. Down at the rail is Shack Queen King. Risk Taking now makes his move on the outside to draw within 3.5 lengths of the lead. As they race midway on the turn, it is Capo Kane. Eagle Orb in second. Risk Taking is next in third. Then Shack Queen King. Royal Number is in fifth. Overtook on the outside in sixth. 3/4 win in 1:13. It is still Capo Kane with the lead here. Risk Taking drives up on the outside. Capo Kane, Risk Taking, Eagle Orb is third. A late move from Overtook as they come down for the 16th pole. Here is Risk Taking to take over the lead in deep stretch. And it will be Risk Taking to win the 141st running of the Withers. Overtook came on to finish second. Pace setting, Capo Kane was third.
So that was Risk Taking. Eric Cancel with a really good ride. I like a lot of things that I saw from this horse. I actually think this field was weaker than the one in Tampa at the Sam F. Davis, but I like Risk Taking a lot going forward. He was very professional. He was in between horses, taking a lot of dirt. Switched to the outside. Again, a really nice ride by Eric Cancel. Good for him for getting the victory. And I really like the acceleration in the final 16th of a mile in this horse. I think this is definitely a horse you need to watch for Chad Brown. I thought Capo Kane ran very well. I was actually very much against Capo Kane in this race, to be perfectly honest. And I thought he ran better than I thought. There was quite a bit of speed on paper in this race that never quite developed. But he did hold on well to finish second. I do not think this is a 1.25 mile horse. I think he's a nice horse that'll make some money this year as a 3-year-old. I just don't like him really going forward as the distances get longer. And then Overtook for Todd Pletcher finishes third. Another good finish. This horse is definitely developing, and I think distance will be his friend. It's another horse to consider going forward in the barn of Todd Pletcher. So let's talk about now the PickSix and the grade stakes at Santa Anita. So what you're going to get on this channel is full disclosure. I'm going to tell you exactly what I believe is going to happen, and I will be honest on my picks. I did not hit the PickSix on Saturday. It did pay $24,000 for 20 cents, so not a lot of people hit it. I thought my opinions overall were very good in some races, but others, they were not very good, frankly, and did not work out. This is an extremely difficult game, no question about it. Before I show you go through the PickSix briefly and also talk about some stake races, there are other avenues and ways to play. I had good success in a contest at NYRA that I just want to go ahead and show you the result of that. And again, I'm not showing this to you to brag by any means at all. This is not why I'm doing this. I just want to show you there's other ways to bet. That's my whole purpose of this. I did finish second. You can see my name there. In second place, there were 62 players in this contest through NYRA. They have a contest every Saturday, and you can see towards the top there, it's a $300 buy-in, which again, for some people is a lot of money. Totally understand if that's way over your budget. This is a live money tournament, so you could bet win, place, show, exactas, trifectas, and daily doubles. That's all you're limited to. All races at New York. Again, I don't work for NYRA. I'm not getting money by suggesting this is not a paid advertisement. This is just my way of showing you there are other ways to bet other than pick fours, pick fives. I was lucky enough to finish second to Tony Zhou, who's one of the best contest players in the world. You start with a $200 bankroll, and I was fortunate to have a good day. Someone on the side there mentioned something very nice. Jeff said that finishing second to Tony Zhou is like finishing second to Tiger Woods or Jack Nicklaus at the Masters. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Of course, me doing well in this contest didn't help you folks out there. Sorry about that. But again, this is not to brag or boast. I lose bets all the time. I did not hit the PickSix this weekend. But just to show you there are different avenues to bet. And contests are a great way to go. They tend to be a little more expensive, but there are different types of contests. There's live money contests like that one. There's pick and praise. There's many other things that there's Stable Duel, which is more like sort of fantasy sports that Jerry Richmond will be talking about a little more on Thursday of this week. So a lot of different ways to win in horse racing. Let's go to Santa Anita. Now, I'm going to very quickly go over the first two races before the PickSix. These were graded stake races that, frankly, I had good opinions on and was able to collect on these stake races. So let's take a look at those very briefly. There were two of them that I want to focus on. The first one is the Las Virgenes Stakes. It was grade 3 on the dirt. Let's take a look at that from Santa Anita.
They're in the gate. And they're off. Calypso flies out of the gate. Mraz has some speed at the rail. Honor America hustled up. And those three will vie for it in the opening quarter mile. Brilliant Cut is next, and Moonlight Doro is content to trail them early. Calypso the leader by a length. Honor America and Mraz right together, second and third, with Brilliant Cut fourth. 2.5 or 3 lengths off the lead. Moonlight Doro tucks in at the rail. 4 lengths front to back. 6 furlongs to go in the Las Virgenes. And it's Joel Rosario and Calypso in control early by a length and a half. Honor America second. Mraz orange colors at the rail, joined 3 wide by Brilliant Cut. And another 2 to Moonlight Doro. Past the 5/8 they go. And it's Calypso cruising along. Maintains a 1-length lead on Honor America with Mraz at the rail. Still Brilliant Cut outside of that pair. And another length back to Moonlight Doro. No change since the gate opened. Calypso is the boss, 3 furlongs from the money. Lets it out a notch, opens up 2. Brilliant Cut on the outside takes second. Mraz, Honor America is losing just a bit of ground. And now Moonlight Doro starts to come in. Moonlight Doro, white cap, making a sudden move on the outside after Calypso. Calypso joined by Moonlight Doro as the field turns for O. Mraz is down on the inside, but it's all Moonlight Doro with serious momentum at the 8th pole. Handridden takes the better hand over Calypso. 2.5 more back to Mraz. Moonlight Doro striding clear past the 16th pole, and she'll win the Las Virgenes easily. Calypso again second, then it was Mraz and Brilliant Cut.
So that was a very nice effort there by Moonlight Doro. That was a prep for the Kentucky Oaks races. These are races you definitely need to watch. I really like a lot of things about Moonlight Doro. This horse showed a lot of tactical speed in her last race and drew off. Here she came from last and went around everyone. I love horses that are versatile, that have tactical speed, but can also close. This is a very talented filly for Richard Mandela. She went by Calypso relatively easily. Calypso's a nice horse for Bob Baffert. I don't think Calypso will like the distance as it goes further, but Moonlight Doro can absolutely get the distance. One thing that you want to notice when we watch these races at Santa Anita here, the track was playing pretty deep and slow this past weekend. So the times are a little bit deceiving. Don't get too caught up in what might be perceived as slower times, as the track was pretty deep and slow. Moonlight Doro, a very big effort. The next race, we're not going to watch the whole thing, and now we're just going to briefly look at bits and pieces, and I'm going to commentate as we go through the races. The next race, and I was also happy to, if you watched the show, you were able to cash on this one. I liked Moonlight Doro, who actually I thought was going to be much lower. She went off at 8-5. I thought she was going to be 3-5. I actually put a win bet on Moonlight Doro, which I usually don't at 8-5 as a win bet, but I just thought she was going to be tough to beat. Master of Foxhounds wins the San Marcos. We're going to watch that race right now. Master of Foxhounds was very impressive. Let me go ahead and cue that up for you as we get this set here. And I'm going to turn the sound down so we can watch this. But Master of Foxhounds is the 2. And we're not going to watch the whole race, but I really like how Joel Rosario got this horse out of the gate and was very active early, because Acclimate was clearly the lone speed on paper. And again, Rosario did a really nice job of getting the 2, Master of Foxhounds, close enough to Acclimate where he was not going to let Acclimate get too far away. We'll just go ahead and fast forward here. This is on the back stretch. You saw they were going pretty slow. There was really no speed in this race other than Acclimate, so I really didn't like the closers in this race that much. And as we just go ahead and fast forward, I'll go and stop right here. Right here you see Acclimate, the jockey is asking, and Master of Foxhound is sitting pretty chill. Watch the reach. You can see, watch the legs on this horse. See how this horse really reaches out. I like that. That really European action I'm a big fan of. This was a nice effort. Master of Foxhound got a great setup, though. Everything worked out very well. But you can't take away from Master of Foxhounds. That was a very good effort. And going forward, I see no reason why he can't be a factor out west. Now, I do not believe this is a Breeders' Cup horse by any means. The fact of the matter is all of the really good turf horses, especially the distance turf horses, are absolutely out on the East Coast. The West Coast is just not the same as it used to be with their turf horses. But Master of Foxhounds, who went off at a surprisingly low, I believe 8-5, was a strong second choice. Will definitely be a factor out west in many of the turf races they have out there. I don't think he's the caliber of a grade 1, or even maybe a grade 2 horse right now. We'll just have to see. I think he's going to need more developing, but he's got upside and he's in very good hands. Now, the PickSix. We're not going to go through replays of every race. We are going to talk about the PickSix to some extent. The first race, I had very mixed emotions on the first race. The winner was Pawnee, the number 10, who I really liked if you watched the video. And he was an A for me, actually. And I got the workout report, and the workout report overall is excellent. But just like any kind of information, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. I'd say for the majority of the races on Saturday, the workout report helped me. In this case, the workout report on Pawnee hurt me a little bit. The workout report was not fantastic, and I just made an ultimate decision to downgrade Pawnee on my own ticket and the adjusted ticket down to a B. But Pawnee ran very well. We're going to go ahead and take a look at that race from Pawnee. Hopefully you had Pawnee. This was the beginning of the PickSix. We're just going to watch the end of it here very briefly. Pawnee just got a perfect trip. I'll just go ahead and fast forward. Race Judicata, the 5, who actually was a B horse for me at 30-1, went to the lead. My top choice was Half Hoping, who was the 11 on the outside there in yellow. And he just couldn't catch up to Pawnee. Pawnee just looked like a winner the entire race, to be honest. Right here, you could tell Pawnee was going by an 8-1. Hopefully you use this horse in your pick 6. If you played my top choice in this race were 3, 10, 11. So if somehow you use those horses in an exacta box, the $2 exacta paid $126, a very healthy exacta. So perhaps that helped you in some vertical betting. I wish I kept this horse as an A, but I was still pretty happy with this result anyway because this horse was 8-1 and was a B, so that worked out. Which then came to the big race of the day for me that I talked about, which was the next race, which a lot of people singled here. And this is the Whisper Not race. Now, Whisper Not was actually the lowest price of the entire sequence. He's the 6 horse right there. He was 2-5. And I really like Joel Rosario. He's not known for his aggressiveness, but this ride I'm not so sure about. I'm usually not too critical of jockeys. They have a very tough job to do, ladies and gentlemen. It's not easy for them. Actually, this horse was 1-2, excuse me. This horse, you could see, was really pulling, though. And I was pretty happy right here for the most part, but I wish this horse had relaxed a little more. I was really surprised. They went fast, 22-4. I don't know why this horse was so aggressive, to be honest, because this horse rated kindly in his other 2 races in behind horses. But this horse was ultra aggressive. You can see him just pulling. And right here, I did not like this. I thought this horse was going too fast. Joel really had no choice. I think he just went on with this horse because the horse wanted to run. So I don't blame Joel too much. I'm just a little surprised why this horse was so rank and pulling. You see, they went to the half in 46. That is very fast. This is a 1.8 race. And although this is a very nice horse, that's serious like stake company time. And I know this horse has been in stakes, but I thought this horse was better stalking and pouncing. You see 109-4. And right here, I still thought, he had a chance because he was best. But Mike Smith on the 2 horse just gave a really good ride. You can see the 2 is about to angle out here in 4th. And Whisper Not was still running. But once the 2 angle out, Gregdar, right here, I thought I was going to be in trouble. And sure enough, I was. Gregdar goes by at 10-1. Whisper Not did keep fighting. He only loses by a length. This obviously hurt me a lot in the pick 6. On the pick 6 that I gave out on Twitter and on the show later on, I was out of that ticket already because that was a C horse for me, and a B horse won the first race. So when you have a B and a C, you're out of the ticket. The public ticket that I gave, I did play a more expensive ticket on my own in which I had that horse as a B. So I was still live after the first 2 legs of my own ticket, but I was not really happy at all. That did not work out very well for me. The only reason I moved the 2 to a B is because the 7 Gauguin had scratched, and so I moved that horse up. So again, I don't love the ride by Rosario. This horse was really aggressive, but the horse was pulling. The divorce papers might be signed on Whisper Not. I've chased this horse out 3 times in a row, and 3 times in a row he's disappointed. I still think this horse is talented. It just didn't work out. That's the way it goes sometimes. Let's take a look at the next race, which was another stake race that we're going to watch here. This was the San Vicente. And the San Vicente was won by a very talented horse. This was a fantastic race between number 1, Freedom Fighter, and number 6, Concert Tour, both trained by Bob Baffert. I'm just going to go ahead and forward to the end here. But you'll see Freedom Fighter ran a big race, the 1, Concert Tour, the 6. Again, don't get too discouraged by the final times. This track was really slow. I thought Concert Tour right here was going to blow by Freedom Fighter, but you got to give Freedom Fighter a lot of credit because he fought Concert Tour all the way to the end. You see the Chosen Vron there faded in 3rd. I ended up devaluing the Chosen Vron. This horse had some bad workouts after missing a start, and I didn't think measured up. But again, this was a very nice effort by both these horses. Freedom Fighter won, kept me alive in the my own personal PickSix. So I was obviously very pleased about that going forward. And so that gave me an A horse. Then things started to go not so well for me. And that's what's going to happen in these bets. Let's take a look at the next race in the PickSix. And the next race in the PickSix was the Thunder Road. The Thunder Road was a mile stake race. We're going to watch it right now here. Get up here for you.
And they're off.
And what I want to point out about this race is I liked the 7 quite a bit in this race. I did not like this ride at all. I thought when you're on a semi-speed horse, I think you either need to go or you should sit comfortably. And just like Whisper Not, Bob and Jackie was pulling the whole time. You can see you pulling here. And I wish Roberto Figueroa would either just go or sit back a little bit more. I do not like, especially in a smaller field, he had no one to the outside of him. And he either should just gone on with it or taken back a little bit further. I don't like when they engage. There's no reason for the 7 to be engaging the 1 Sun by A right here. Again, I might be too critical of the jockey. I just wasn't a big fan of this type of ride. They went a really fast second quarter, and Hit the Road, the number 2, is sitting an absolutely perfect dream trip. I was a little bit against Hit the Road. I talked about this horse on my preview show. This horse was off 6 months. He had to prove it to me on this day, and boy, did he prove it to me, because this horse was absolutely outstanding. Again, he did get a perfect trip behind the 2 speeds, so for that, I'm going to downgrade slightly. But considering this 2 was off this kind of big layoff, this is a huge effort. He just blows by these top 2. This is absolutely a horse you need to watch this year in the male, probably 1 mile to mile and 16th, maybe out to mile and 8th turf division. I think this horse, if he continues to develop, could be a serious American threat in the Breeders' Cup Mile if he continues to develop. That was a big effort right there by Hit the Road. Unfortunately for me, Hit the Road was one of my was a seahorse. I just liked Bob and Jackie and Hembry. Hembry did not run at all. I do not know why. Completely regressed. Again, just didn't work out. Sometime that's going to happen. That's the way it goes. I'm not going to show the replay on the final 2 races. The second to last race was won by the 12, who on my preview show I used as a C as a backup. I upgraded him as a B in my own personal ticket. I was out of the PickSix at that point anyway. Bob's Sniper won race 9. And then race 10 was another seahorse that won for my public handicapping, so that doesn't do us any good. That was the 8 horse. The sire of the 8 was Run Happy. Run Happy before Saturday, Run Happy's foals were 0 for 19 on the turf. So that was the first foal out of Run Happy to win on the turf. The 8 was dropping down, but I thought there were other horses that were a lot more interesting. And so that horse did not win for me also. So again, the PickSix did not work out. In terms of my public handicapping, there were 4 C's that won. That's extremely rare for me. That almost never happens. So obviously I was wrong on several of my picks, but it was a very tough sequence. And listen, in this game, I've talked about it. You're going to be wrong more than you're going to be right. Fortunately, the Naira contest well made up for my PickSix ticket. So I personally end up having a good day. Hopefully, some of the replays and picks that I had worked out for you, and you were able to fade some of the horses that I mentioned or use some of the horses I mentioned. Again, when Whisper Not did not win, that really hurt me throughout the sequence. And then I also wasn't a big fan of Hit the Road, and I wasn't a big fan of Bob Sniper, really, or the 8 in the last race. So there was no way that I was hitting this ticket. But that's what happens. You turn the page and you move on. Ultimately, Saturday was a good day for me anyway because of the Naira contest. And also, I was correct on the 2 previous stake races at Santa Anita with Moonlight Doro and Master of Foxhounds, and I was able to cash a little bit there. So that is a review of what happened over the weekend. Now, again, this Thursday coming up, please join me a live stream with a guest handicapper, Jerry Richmond, a good friend of mine, an excellent handicapper. He's been on the Matt Bernier show also as part of the In the Money Media podcast as a guest. He's been doing this a long time, as have I, and we're going to be previewing the Louisiana Derby preview day this Saturday at the fairgrounds in New Orleans. Again, the live stream will be Thursday at 7 o'clock. Again, please follow me on Twitter at HKravitz. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'd love to hear any comments you have after watching this video. How'd you do in the PickSix? Did you have any good winners? Anything you'd like to see me add or subtract from the show? I'd love to hear from you. So once again, thank you very much for joining me on Howard's Horse Handicapping. We will see you this Thursday night. Take care. Bye-bye, everyone.